When you're new to something, mistakes happen. You are still learning. In today's video, we're going to go over 5 mistakes a lot of new gun owners make. These tips will help you save time and, more importantly, save you money. Mistake number 1, getting the wrong gun. A lot of gun owners go out and buy the wrong gun. Now, you may be asking yourself, how could I get the wrong gun? Well, there are a few things to consider when picking out your first gun. Guns come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, calibers, and price ranges. It can honestly be overwhelming at first. So, one of the first things to consider is what you're planning on using the gun for. Are you looking for a home defense gun? Maybe an everyday carry, perhaps a sporting or hunting rifle. Knowing what you want to use your gun for will narrow your choices down. Your next consideration is your budget. Regardless of the type of gun you want, knowing what your budget is will drastically reduce your list of potential firearms. There's no point in doing a ton of research and drooling over a $1,500 pistol while only being able to spend 5 or 600. Your next step is making sure the gun is right for you and the right choice for what you want it for. For example, a big old Desert Eagle in 50 AE is a really neat gun, but unless you were Burt Gummer fighting graboids, I doubt you'll want to carry that big gun around every day.
Oh, wonderful. You brought your cannons.
Blanco's been misbehaving.
Now, my last suggestion on this topic is a little harder. I highly recommend that you try and shoot the gun that you want to buy. You can see if a friend owns one that they're willing to let you shoot, or you can try calling around the local ranges that rent guns to see if they rent the one you are looking to buy. When you call, be honest with them, and chances are they will be willing to help you out and possibly point you in the right direction, even if they know somebody else that has the gun and they don't. Mistake number 2, becoming focused on gear and not developing firearms related skills. The next big mistake a lot of new gun owners tend to make is buying all of this unnecessary and a lot of times expensive gear and accessories. As a new gun owner, you should really be focused on the fundamentals of weapons handling and worry about cool gear later on. Yes, the Mantis X10 is cool, but you can literally buy 1,000 rounds of 9mm for the same price, or better yet, in-person training. Remember, the expensive gear, the coolest holster, the super neat light laser combo are not going to win a gunfight. Focus on fundamentals first. Mistake number 3, failing to learn gun laws. This next one is super important. If I ranked things you'll need to know as a gun owner, then this would be number 2, right after knowing how to safely handle a firearm. You need to know and understand the laws in whatever area you plan on carrying a gun in. A simple mistake like crossing an imaginary state line unfortunately can land you in a ton of legal trouble or in prison. Laws change state to state, and in some states, city to city. There are 2 places I use for easy to find gun laws: handgunlaws.us, and if you're a USCCA member, then they have a great summary report on their website for each state as well. While you are at it, you should also start to follow organizations like the USCCA, the FPC, the GOA, as well as your local 2A organizations to keep up with the latest changes to gun laws and to keep track of what the politicians are trying to do next to take away your rights. If you'd like to see just how bad some states are with gun laws, please check out the book Emily Gets Her Gun. Emily Miller was a victim of a home invasion in the DC metro area. She then went on to try to become a gun owner for the first time. Being a newspaper reporter, she went to her editor and asked if she could write a couple articles outlining her experiences to try to help others. Her editor agreed to it, but said she had to do it on her own time with no guarantees of running the stories once she had them done. She went on to attempt to become a gun owner for the first time and went on a massive journey that turned out to be a lot harder than she thought it was going to be. So hard, in fact, that she ended up writing an entire book instead of just a handful of editorials. Now, it is a very interesting read. The book came out in 2013, so some laws have changed since then, but it still outlines just how bad some areas are in the United States to exercise your Second Amendment rights. Mistake number 4, not seeking out training past a basic course. Now that I'm becoming a firearms instructor, I have started networking with other instructors, and we recently had a very interesting conversation about training classes. We talked about why so many people only teach the basic CCW class or beginner level course. Unfortunately, a lot of people tend to take just an entry level class and call that good enough. There's so much more to learn, whether you are carrying every day, focused on home defense, hunting, target practice, or a competitive shooter. I highly recommend that you seek out more training and more advanced training as your skills increase. Continuing your training has several benefits, including refreshing your fundamentals. Gun handling is a perishable skill. If you don't train, you will lose your abilities. It's also good to seek out more training as different instructors have different teaching styles, and some may resonate better with you or teach you a skill differently that works better for your particular situation. So get out there and train. Don't know where to find a class? Go to the USCCA website and you'll find a whole list of classes in your area. Other organizations like the NRA also have a list of upcoming classes in your area. Google is also a big help here. If you can't attend an in person class right now but still want guidance, check out the Warrior Poets Society Network. You can go online or download their app. They have top notch in person training, but they also have a great video library of all of their training classes. They offer Pistol 1, 2, and 3, as well as their rifle courses and even long range shooting. They offer them in bite sized segments so you can learn at your own pace. If you're a new pistol owner, I highly recommend you check out Pistol 1. You can follow along doing dry fire practice. It's not as good as in person training, however, it's a great way to start on your fundamentals, especially if you're on a budget. Mistake number 5: not regularly training with your gun. Now, last but certainly not least, the last mistake new gun owners make is not training regularly with their gun. Seems simple, right? Now, like with a lot of things, life gets busy and things tend to get pushed to the side. Trust me, I know. I myself don't get to the range nearly as much as I want. There's always something else to do. We as gun owners need to dedicate the time to keep up our firearm skills, whether that is done by dry firing, range trips, shooting competitions, or training classes. We all need to make the time. For dry fire, I recommend making that part of your daily or weekly routine. You don't have to take a big chunk of time to do it. 5 to 15 minutes a few times a week is all it takes. 90% of your training should be dry fire. Grip, stance, and trigger control are the keys to good firearms fundamentals. Get out to the range as much as you can, but range fees and ammo do add up, especially if you're on a budget. Dry fire costs you nothing other than time. Yes, there's a whole host of dry firing tools, but there's also nothing wrong with just using the gun and doing dry fire drills. So, those are the 5 mistakes new gun owners make. What mistakes have you made as a new gun owner? Leave them down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a thumbs up as it really helps a small channel like mine with the algorithm. Of course, don't forget to subscribe for more firearms content. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.